That was so like short-lived. I felt like I wanted to do even more.
I think it was terrific. Short and sweet. Short and sweet, like most of the best things in this world.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Incredibly Dope Podcast, featuring Walker and Mike.
Mike.
Featuring Walker. Whoever you are, I will find you, and I will cast you.
As per usual, we have quite the multitude of random topics with no given structure. I think we're gonna... I just found a video on Dr. Phil that is titled, I Have the Worst In-Laws. Personally, I mean, I guess I consider them in-laws. You know what I mean? Like, me and Jordan have been together for over 2 years now. I mean, I have full intent on marrying her, so I consider them my in-laws. You know what I mean? So this will be interesting to to see what we're in for. Let's see here. All right, thank you, Rico. Let's see what this
Rico Suave.
Let's see what it's all about.
There is a definite
And we have a guest
into
appearance from Kate.
and you think
Thank
that
you.
there's a
Oh, thank you. Guest starring Wendy's Fries.
I'm glad they could make the appearance.
Corona season.
How many fries do you have there, sir? You know, there's social distancing right now. You can only have like 3 fries in the same box.
They're like 63 fries.
Oh, dude, you are about to get fined out the ass, and forget about that burger. There's definitely way too many people at that party.
Yeah, you're right.
What's like your go-to Wendy's thing? I honestly
Normally-
I thought it was the 4 for $4 for a while, but they fucking changed it, dude. It's really like the 4 for like $5 and change now, I feel like, isn't it? That's good.
That is a good one.
You're eating like a friggin'
So,
like, what's that bird that...
come on the bars.
It's kind of like a chicken.
Oh, I don't know. So I am really cheap when it comes to eating out.
Same. On the
So what
first
I do-
date and after we've been together for a while, too, you know?
So when I hit the menu and I see, like, you know, meal for $9, meal for $8, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. Have you
gonna
seen the
highlight-
dollar menu?
Exactly. That's
But it's-
exactly what I go to.
See, the thing of it is it's no longer the dollar menu. They're getting us now because it's $1.89, which is really almost $2, which really makes it the $2 menu. It's tough for the American people in these streets.
Really is, really is. We got it really rough, guys. We got it really rough. So I go for, no matter where I go, cheapest double cheeseburger, cheapest chicken sandwich, and make one sandwich out of it. Nuggets and fries. maybe just nuggets. Every time. It doesn't matter if I'm at McDonald's.
Basically McGangbanging it every time.
Well, that's what people call it, but I did that shit way before they fucking came up with a stupid name for it.
Yeah.
But I love it. You get me a McChicken and a McDouble, I'm a fat, happy piece of shit.
Yeah, that's basically what I get every time. I get like a McChicken, McDouble, and like a small fry, and it comes out to like $4 or $5, and
You can't beat it.
and you're good. Oh yeah, I didn't know this was a fucking food review. I should have went out and got some Wendy's. Ooh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You guys
can
are
wait.
so lucky to be able to witness this right now.
I can wait.
I'll heat it back up later.
That's the one thing about like reheating fast food. It's such a
It's a different meal every time.
yeah. There really is.
I like the burgers, but you ever like wait like a couple hours and then microwave it? Man, real good sandwich.
And then you don't eat it like immediately after you microwave it. You like let it sit
Yeah,
for a
some
little
other
bit.
sandwich?
Then at that point it becomes like a fucking fossil, dude. You're just eating like a piece of dirt.
And the flavor is gone because you baked it out of it because it's short-lived and full of preservatives.
Yeah. I watched this crazy TikTok video the other day of this dude taking a Dorito bag, taking some water and wiping off each side of the bag as if it was like cleaning it or whatever. The inside of the bag had nothing in it and it was completely clean. And then he put it in the microwave for like a second, but he typed in like a certain code into the microwave, and then like it like shrunk really small. And then he like, I guess like, I think he took some water and like put it back on the bag and then like uncrinkled it out. I think it's just one of those stupid optical illusion things to get people to go break their microwaves though. Is there like something in a Dorito bag that would cause your microwave to malfunction?
I bet.
What are they made out of? Because like you rip into those and they have the shiny inside. So what is that shiny inside of the bag? Like what is that actually made out of?
Maybe there's some kind of metal element going on there.
You imagine, dude, people are like, oh my god, I'm gonna try, and just shoves a whole bag of Doritos in their microwave and fucks it.
Oh, I love when like people post casually and they're like, are you having trouble with your ice cream? Well, here's a quick trick for you. Just microwave your spoon for like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or microwave the ice cream.
There's a life hack to that. Take it from the fat guy. Do not microwave it. Put it in the microwave and defrost it.
You could do that too.
No, that is the only way. You
It's
microwave
the
it, it'll
only
nuke the
way.
outsides.
The only way, my child.
If you microwave it, it'll nuke the outsides because it'll super cook from the outside in. If you defrost it, the defroster it'll apply heat to it and then it'll cool down. Apply heat to it and cool it down, bringing like the overall temperature of it down. So it'll literally be just like putting it on the counter for 15 fucking minutes. And it's awesome. And you can soften it as much as you want. If you only nuke it for like 40 seconds, not nuke it, but 40 seconds in the defrost, it's like if you were to microwave it for 40, you'd have fucking milk.
I feel like it would be more practical though for you to fill the kitchen sink with hot to warm water and then just kind of place the bottom of the ice cream tin like
That is so much work.
No, it's not. You plug the drain, you flick the faucet on.
That's already too much.
It's probably even
we're fat
easier.
Americans, dude. We're over entitled, fat, lazy Americans. We want to put the ice cream in the microwave and go.
But it's just as many steps to put it in the microwave as it is to.
But if you have to burn more than 2 calories, what the fuck are you doing?
I guess it depends on how close the microwave is in relation to your refrigerator.
Mine is right in front of it.
Oh, well.
If
All
your
of us
microwave
can't
is
be
in the basement,
privileged
you know
like
what?
you.
Right? Can't be privileged. The pros of having a 700 square foot condo. Pro. If I fart, I don't have to waft it. Con.
Especially not with that new
Works
sheet.
both ways.
As you guys can see, we've made some upgrades here in the studio. You can't see it, but Rico has upgraded to a 3rd monitor, and Walker's got himself a nice sheet here. So come Christmas time, we are going to be looking great.
Oh my god, I didn't even make the connection, dude.
If it wasn't so light behind my screen, then I would just put the black screen up to give it a little bit better of a contrast. But when I put the black screen up now, there's so much light that passes through it that it looks terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you put the black one over the green one?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and for whatever reason. But anyway, since you got yourself a little snack there, let's go ahead and enjoy this video. And let's see what the art of having an in-law it really is all about.
Conspiracy to get you gone.
Oh,
To eliminate you, get you out.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta restart this.
You think
Huge
there is
echo,
a
too.
definite intrusion into your marriage.
Is there?
I don't know if the microphone's going to pick it up on your end.
Nah, it won't, but I'll put the old headphones in.
Put them on, Daddy.
Definite intrusion.
And you think that there's a conspiracy to get you gone.
Oh,
To
definitely.
eliminate you, get you out.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right?
I have
Phil's
the
files.
worst in-laws in the world. I think my mom doesn't get along with Casey because she thinks I deserve better.
I don't think she's good enough for my son because of her past and her upbringing.
I have seen her in the wicked, out-of-this-world psychopath. I've called her Miss Briss.
My mother-in-law, I call her the little devil because I feel like she just raises hell.
Look at those
The moment I
eyebrows.
realized she didn't accept me was, and we went to
Hold
their house
on.
to tell them. She just raises hell.
Whoa.
The little devil, because I feel like
Sponsored by Crayola.
It
Sponsored
looks
by
like a
Sharpie.
4-year-old took a brown crayon and was like, "Yike!"
just raises hell. The moment I realized she didn't accept me was, and we went to their house to tell them about our first pregnancy. Luke told them the news. Carol looked across the table and
How many you got?
How the hell did that happen?
My first reaction was, how does anybody get pregnant in this day and age with all the birth control out there?
When I showed
I'm not gonna
my
argue with that
mother-in-law
woman.
the engagement ring, she looked sad, disbelief, no congratulations, no welcoming hug.
Damn,
I
bro,
think
that's
the worst
petty.
thing that my in-laws have ever done is ruining one of the most special days of my life. We were saying our vows, and I could see my in-laws' facial expressions. They looked disgusted. When we were
Oh my
standing in the
God.
wedding line, my husband and I both heard Luke's mom saying to a friend, "This isn't gonna last long."
Yeah, it really
Wow.
did ruin the day.
We were married almost 4 years before we went through the process of divorce.
We had grown
Well, they were
way
right.
apart, and issues weren't being resolved.
Having 2 children, which is stressful, we grew apart.
My mom
Not
did
if you
have a
fucking
lot
sell 'em.
to do with the divorce. She made phone calls to the lawyer. She was more or less a cheerleader during the whole thing.
The eyebrows are a
Asked my
dead giveaway.
husband
And he doesn't have any.
spy on her one night when he was out of town, so we did.
And I woke up at my sister's house.
You can
one
see
day,
in the look in her
gave her a
mother's
call,
eyes,
told
she
her
does
I
have a
was
lot of
sorry.
toxicity.
Since my husband has come back to the home,
But
it's
so
been
does
about
she.
3 months.
It's hard to be a supportive mother-in-law when you can see the hurt and the sadness in your son's eyes.
I feel I'm caught in the middle, and I can't do this anymore.
Dr. Phil, please help us before we cut them out of our lives forever.
Wait a minute.
You think there's
Are they
a
remarried?
definite intrusion into your marriage,
Yeah, he came back.
and you think that there's a conspiracy to get you gone,
Oh,
to eliminate you, get you out.
Definitely. Yep.
all right? I think extended family is very important. So
Oh, fuck.
I'm always looking for a way to make this kind of thing work instead of a way to fracture it. Now, your mother and father are here. This is Dewey and Carol, right? Didn't you ask them to follow
don't do our
her
own
and
eyebrows,
stake her
Dewey.
out and try to catch her doing something wrong?
At a time, yeah, I did.
So you pulled them into this, and frankly, I think you should have said no. But nonetheless, you got invited into this mess, right?
And
And then you get criticized once you're inside the fence.
They were happy to follow me. I feel that they are very much wanting to find me to do something wrong.
Now, it's my understanding you met another guy, right?
Well, actually, I went to like a nightclub where we were joined with a whole bunch of people, along
Okay.
with a gentleman and a girlfriend.
Was it something you shouldn't have been doing? Or are you okay with it?
Oh, I should have went home right after work, definitely. I mean, I shouldn't have gone out
She
to a
cheated.
nightclub after work.
Dewey, I understand you refer to her as Miss Priss and Miss Psycho Bitch.
Putting it lightly.
And that's my father-in-law. That's
I have
great.
already seen her in the psycho
That's great.
All right.
ways. It is hot and cold. It is.
It's very, very soon, but I do notice that this woman right here has this slight, not desperation, but need to have people feel bad for her. Versus
The
have
actual
people
girl?
Yeah, versus have people understand what's going on. It sounds like, anyway.
Just
I
screaming.
could be wrong. That's just a projected guess.
And then it's little schoolgirl, perfect young woman.
I have raised my voice, I will admit to that, but we were together when we were teenagers, you know? Of course I may have acted stupid. I admit that.
Okay,
you
but
know?
I guess my question is, what kind of contribution are you making if you refer to your son's wife as a psycho bitch? Even if it's true. I mean, I'm not sure what that means, but what do you expect the outcome of that input to be?
Even if it's true.
I mean, it's not-
Phil, we know you met with her before.
Oh, dude, like what?
Could be. Sure. it would.
Crazy pace.
Okay, and now you say that your mother's just psycho, correct?
Yeah, I just don't understand a lot of the things she does.
One thing I know for sure is that name calling and character assassination and personal attacks does nothing except create hard feelings that are real hard to get past.
That leaves me wanting more. Like I need to.
tease.
Yeah, I need to know what happened. I want to know what the resolution was.
Can we find the full episode for free? Oh, that is not season 3 because that air date is 04.
Oh, so that's
Season 18.
is that old?
14 years old, out of control, and desperate for love.
Put that in the watch together. Wow.
Ooh, some of these are like in auditoriums, dude.
Sounds like a dirt bike taking off.
This is gonna be the worst episode to date.
The shittiest episode to date.
I smack my little kids in the butt. That's the only thing I've ever done.
Like if they're doing something
And now I have a
dangerous
16-year-old whom I've admitted on national television. On at least 4 occasions, I've smacked her numerous times in the face. And I know, there's no excuse for that, and I won't pretend like there is.
You couldn't drive her more into the arms of this guy than if you were chasing her with a stick towards his house.
We don't know what to do. We don't know. That's why we're here.
Well, you're going to lose your daughter, and if you keep this up, you're going to lose the other 7. Because they will take them and put them in foster care because of what you're doing if you don't stop this and stop it now.
It is stopped.
Yeah, I regret turning that on at all. There's way too much we're missing. Because there's a difference between discipline and abuse, and I don't know. Maybe they're just super shit parents, and the reason that they got there is because they're
Well,
shitty
they
at
got
their
fucking
job.
7, 8 kids, dude. I'm
So they're
sorry,
clearly
but
really good when it comes to
2
managing
people should just
structure.
not have 8 kids. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Sorry. Let's spark the debate. Oh, I should have as many kids as I want to be able to have, and then the government can grant me $500 a month for each one of them. Like, just fucking stop, dude. This is the type of crap that literally makes our planet unsustainable. Have 2 kids. Have 3 kids. Maybe 4 at the most if you fucking have to, dude. Why do you need 8 kids? Why?
Because clearly they just can't stop.
Like, is your pipe dream to get one of them famous? Oh, maybe if I pump out 8, one of them will become a professional golfer, and I'll never have to work ever again. Like, that, I feel like that's what these people think. Oh, if I just breed enough, even though I have no actual talent, and I'm a fucking miserable piece of shit, and I never worked hard for anything in my life, let me just reproduce 10 times, and then they'll all learn these amazing skills that I fucking have. And then all of a sudden we'll just be all millionaires, and the family will be amazing.
Here's what I see. Anytime I see a situation like the one that we just saw, this is what I see. I see management on the back end is very poor. Management on the back end is very poor. They did not put. They are so person A, person B. In the last podcast that we had, we talked about person A, who's very conscious about everything, every step of becoming a family and raising kids, and making sure that things are going in a healthy direction, and making sure that their sensitive, young, vulnerable minds are shaped into something that's valuable and an asset to the rest of their life. And these people are clearly the kind of people who just had kids, bought diapers, and worked. You know what I mean? They didn't really think about it. It just felt good, and they did it, and they didn't really care. And they were just kind of doing what they wanted to do, and now they're in a situation where they have way too many, a lot of shit's going on. And the oldest one probably is at a point where she knows that, she can pick up the fact that things are dysfunctional. Things are not as they should be. Things are not healthy. It's not the kind of family where you sit down and you talk about your problems. It's the kind of family where you're just expected to be a certain way, despite the fact that you weren't fucking raised right, and you're beat when you don't get it. and it leads to this really toxic chain of actions and thoughts and mental structures and processes that lead you down a reckless path. And like
there's a huge difference between smacking your 10-year-old on the butt and smacking your 17-year-old daughter across the face. Like what would make you think? Exactly, dude. Like, what would make you think that that's acceptable ever? Like, you really should lose your kids.
He's poor with self-control. He's raised a child who has poor self-control because he himself does not clearly have all of his ducks in a row and does not have everything.
That's why he has 8 children that all don't have their shit together now, because my dad's fucked up and doesn't know.
That little 7-year-old dude, really got to get his shit together. Little piece of shit. I think if you're 5 or over, you should be at least making $10 an hour, working at least 30 hours a week,
and giving your parents at least 50% of it.
Yeah, so we can teach you about the government and the way taxes work.
Get them started.
And then when you get older and you get a job, you'll be like, "What? They're only taking 25%? Sweet."
Wait a minute.
Okay. So ridiculous.
BBC.
Speaking of which, let me go clear my search history. I like super subcompact BBC.
You look like you got
Ridiculous
something burning up over there. What's going on over there? What are you cooking up for us?
Something's going wrong with the microphone or the connection on Discord. Say something. Listen to yourself.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can't hear it.
You don't hear that. It sounds like your throat is farting static. Something's not right, dude. Say something. We're having a serious technical error, dude. I cannot hear what you're saying without this insane level of static. Here, just say Sally sells seashells.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
One more time.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
That's what nightmares are made of.
Kate just said that's what nightmares are made of.
Sally. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So what the fuck? By the seashore.
One more time.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So then I hope that the whole podcast is enough.
No. It won't. We'll just have to reset everything. But hold on. For the podcast, for all of us and for me, say, I'm here to warn you about the dangers of smoking.
I'm here to warn you about the dangers of smoking.
Just say very casually and calmly, say, if you smoke, you're at an increased risk of cancer.
If you smoke, you're at an increased risk for cancer.
No. One more time, the last line.
What am I supposed to say?
If you smoke, you're at an increased risk of getting cancer. Nice and calm, like.
If you smoke.
It just cut out! What the fuck? Alright, one last try. I'm here to warn you about the dangers of smoking cigarettes. You're gone. You're just gone. Your voice is gone. It's not. Try to reset. Yeah, I can. Domo arigato? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hey! You were fucking with me.
What?
You were fucking with me.
What do you mean?
Your voice is normal now.
I just switched the USB port that my mic was plugged into.
Oh, okay. So that would have reset. All right. Yeah. Good. He wasn't actually fucking with me, honey.
Smoking for 30 years. Well, Dr. Phil was pretty disappointing.
The whole thing, you know what? Anytime I've ever seen him on the show, I'm always like, I think I could do a better fucking job. Without all of the licenses, whatever, the credentials, the education that he's had, like... So the man I just watched a short clip of him sitting there and looked the guy in the face and said, or both of them, if you keep doing that, your kids are going to get taken away. Listen, they clearly don't know fucking how to fix their problem. Help them fix it. How do you fix it? You have to dissect the problem. You have to get into why they are the way that they are. And
well,
you
I
have
think
to help
that's what he does on the rest of the show.
No, he doesn't.
No?
No.
What does he do then? He just brings him up for that 5 seconds, and then he's like, yeah, you're doing stupid shit. Stop doing stupid shit, or more stupid shit's gonna happen to you. All right, next for the next stupid shit.
Exactly. That's what he does.
But, I mean, I get what you're... I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know his credentials. I haven't read his book, so I don't know what kind of certifications he has or whatever. But he has a very like level head. You know what I mean? Like he gives the advice that you or I would give, I imagine, in pretty much every circumstance. I think it's just what it comes down to. It. A lot of people need somebody who just knows the difference between right and wrong, because I feel like once you go down that rabbit hole, you kind of really don't have a sense of what's right and wrong anymore, because you're just surrounded by people who do constant wrong. So I think that he brings a lot of value in that sense, that he's just somebody that has good decision-making skills and can, you know, dissect whatever it is that you're going through, I guess, and find some psychological reasoning behind it. But I haven't watched a show in a hot minute.
I haven't watched it in a long time. I just, for some odd reason, I remember watching shows like that, and it's always, like, disappointing. Like, it's always, like, it just seems like there could be such an easier way to get into the grunt of what they're doing. But at the same time, it's like, it's a show. What are shows after? Viewers. You know what I mean? It's so, sometimes the direct route, or the quicker route, just takes long, or it's not as interesting. It's not as satisfying. It's not as viewer friendly. You know, they got to make a whole hour episode out of this thing, even though you could crush it in fucking 15 minutes. You know, I don't know.
My name is Billy, also known as Boujee Billy, and
also known as Boujee Billy. Whoa, what the? All right.
It's 2020, bro. Get used to it.
My name is Billy, also known as Boujee Billy, and I'm afraid that my dad is going to cut me off. I don't want a job right now because I feel like it would not make me focus on my like true goal and passion in my life, which is definitely owning a skincare line. My dad keeps like supporting my lifestyle, and I feel like he shouldn't just like.
Why are you buying Louis Vuitton bags? Okay. Already, I don't care how premature it is. Already, this is someone who's just spoiled too much over Untitled. He just said he wants to. He didn't say he wants to be a business owner and manage and maintain a business. He said, I want to own my own skincare line. I want to have a skincare that everyone's out there using, that they're proud of, blah, blah, blah. That's all mine.
Dude, you know how easy it is to go on Alibaba and just get some generic crap and put your label on it?
Do you fucking see? In the closet, I'm pretty sure they were all like Louis Vuitton bags or whatever. Like everything here is clearly very expensive. That guy probably spends, or whatever, Boujee Billy is probably spends more on his nails.
Boujee Billy, baby.
More on his nails than I've ever spent on any car part in my entire life. You know, like this is another situation.
He kind of reminds me of this friend I had back in high school.
Who's that?
He didn't look anything like him. You would know him. He didn't look anything like this kid, but he has like similar facial features that's kind of tripping me out.
more like bags, like Gucci, Versace. These flowers I love so much. They're about like $400, I think.
I don't want to work
on
because
the
I want to
strap right
focus
here
on my
are all
line, but I do
designer.
have
only wear designer shoes.
thousands and thousands and thousands
And
and
then my
thousands of
haircut's always
dollars in
$50 a
products in my condo
So
or apartment
cute.
that my daddy paid for.
Amazing.
Fuck you.
I'm craving a breakfast sandwich from one of my favorite places. I spend about $400 maybe on food a week just because of like Postmates, and I always go out, and my rent is $1,800
A week.
I do spray tans once a month. Love keeping up.
A week.
And hey babe. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you?
That's $1,600 a month
The
on
person
food.
comes over to my house.
Plus
It's usually,
$1,800
like,
rent.
$100. Ubers, I could do like 4 to 5 Ubers a day. That's like $1,200 to $1,400 a month.
That's
I sometimes just
ridiculous.
save money through things that I do with TikTok. My posts focus on mostly makeup and like lifestyle. Usually it would be around like $400 to $500 a month that I would get from that.
Dude, you need a
I
serious
wouldn't say
reality
I'm
check.
rich, but I'm definitely spoiled and know that I'm very privileged to have my daddy's money.
My
I hope
daddy.
Dr. Phil can communicate with my dad and just make him understand that I need the support and the money. To
I
support my
need
dreams.
the support, Daddy.
I think this guy should be deleted.
Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy, chill.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
I'm glad y'all are here. Now, tell me, what is your dream?
Look at them! Look at those
What are
earrings!
you doing about the
BB
skincare
for
line
Boujee
now?
Billy!
Are you working with labs? Do you have, what is it you're doing?
I'm trying to find labs to find.
Yo.
I
Boujee
love
Billy
makeup
is
as well.
definitely trying to take Big Black's logo. You remember
Rob
from Rob and Big?
Yeah. I don't remember
How
the
he had the
logo.
double BB?
I'm gonna look it up.
But I just think that skincare is really important. So.
So why are you spending all this money on all this paraphernalia if your passion is skincare? Why are you not spending it on investigation of those sorts of things and research on that instead of bags and
Oh my
shoes
God,
and
yeah,
designer
Jesus.
label stuff that has nothing to
That
do
guy
with
was
skincare?
awesome.
Because it's just like, I love all those things and it's my lifestyle, and I can't really imagine my life being any other way.
When you grew up, did you work?
Yes.
What
Worked
age?
in the holidays, I had holiday jobs. I worked at college.
Why did you do that?
It was a done thing. I mean, Billy did. At junior and high school, he worked for a year. So he can do it.
Why did you work?
Well, I was encouraged to work, but also
He worked for a
all
year.
my
He can
friends
do
did
it.
Why?
It would make you feel like less of a
I
person?
also enjoyed,
Like all of us assholes out here
that
working?
little bit of independence, if you like, having a little bit of money.
Why do you not have a job?
I don't want one right now.
What's that got to do with it?
Just because I know that I can get money from my dad, and it's pretty
No,
easy
I said,
right
why
now.
do you not have a job? And you said, I don't want one.
Yeah.
How many people here work that don't want to?
Yeah.
That's everybody.
That kid needs a fucking... That's a kid that you can smack in the mouth, dude. That
Oh,
kid's
for
need...
sure. We need the guy from the last episode.
I know. We need dad swap. That's what we need. Instead of wife swap, we need dad swap. And we need to friggin' take that dad and stick him with that kid.
We need this dad for the last 16-year-old girl because this guy's loaded and can afford all the therapy to correct her.
Yeah.
So we just...
For 1 week, these teens swap dads.
One gets beat, one gets repaired.
Dude, I can't believe those type of people actually exist.
That's
We're gonna call that...
amazing.
You know what we're gonna call those type of people? Vanessa Hudgenses.
I couldn't do that, though. You know how guilty I would feel doing that for, like, spending my daddy's money? Like, he
You
is,
sound like you're 5 fucking years old, kid.
Versace, Gucci.
I get it from my
Why don't you
daddy.
work? I
You're
don't
gonna be
wanna-
40 fucking years old, and you're gonna be, I'll get it from my daddy. What are you gonna do when daddy dies, dude? Like, I hate to be so gruesome, but like, what's the plan? Oh, I'll get his life insurance. Get his life insurance. Get my nails
Exactly.
done.
He would be more concerned about the loss of income than he would the loss of a loved one. Because
Yeah.
right now, let's face it, he's just a living, breathing employee of his dad, and all he does is have to live and breathe, and he gets paid to do it.
Pretty much.
That's ridiculous.
Must be nice.
Sure must. What I would do to pretend to be one of these guys' kid.
I want to
for
be bougie.
a year. What the fuck does bougie even mean, though? Teach me. I want to get learned.
It's basically slang for like
badass.
I guess you could
Classy,
say that.
sassy.
It's like classy, but at the same time ratchet. I would say a little bit of both. What else do we got? Pastor says it's
Dr. Phil, dude, just random Dr. Phil clips. Dr. Phil montage.
It's all about the freaking coronavirus. Phil, get back on the set and film.
Oh, how about this one? Come on, this is old, but it's a classic.
Oh, thank God. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Whoa.
On an all-new Dr. Phil. Their honor roll student is dating a bad boy. She's pregnant. He's controlling a
You
bad
couldn't leave her
boy.
alone to be interviewed.
It's about us being together.
That's not about being together. You're afraid she could say something that'll hurt you.
On an all-new Dr. Phil.
There he is! Billy, baby!
It's so much intensity.
Coronavirus! Guess what, bitch?
The best part is that you can like hear like oh my god, the people coughing in the background and shit are so consistent.
They have to have just taken some footage from a period in time where nobody was talking, and they've just compiled a bunch of that background bullshit, you know? And they put that in the background now. What's he just gonna get up and leave? Wow.
There he is, they're walking away. That was for sure one of the best.
Best advice I've ever seen,
Dr.
dude.
Dr. Phil, no dialogue.
Alright, we can't get into the habit of actually watching that because there's absolutely no substance that we can talk about whatsoever.
It's perfect though. We need one more. Just one more. It's a minute.
I think we just watched this, didn't we?
Conan O'Brien plays it
There's so much
to Dr.
good comedy
Phil.
that's
Oh
just
my
out
god.
there in the world. Someone put together an episode of Dr. Phil with no dialogue. I don't know if you've seen this.
I've not.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Oh
they
my
cut it
God.
together.
I can't wait to see what
They were
he
saying,
says
like,
about
what would
it.
an episode
Me
of
too.
Dr. Phil be like with
I
no
wanna see him laugh
dialogue?
his
And
ass off.
we found this.
Look
We
at
want you
him.
to take a look. Let's enjoy.
Assume this is the whole hour.
Okay, the last board they could have done without that.
Just the fake studio developed laughter in the background over this B-roll.
That's a different way to do it.
I don't think he enjoyed it that much.
For all we know, they didn't even play it for him.
Yeah.
He's laughing at something else.
I think I was lying there. I definitely think I was lying.
You were lying. I could see you had your.
Damn, Phil. Oh, here's a good one. Super relevant to me.
My 23-year-old brother is so irresponsible. I can honestly say he's the biggest slacker I know.
I just don't think I was born to work. I was born to be rich.
I've been taking care of Mark for about 3 years now. I've always made sure that he's had a roof over his.
I don't think that I would. Yeah, you and everybody else, pal. Take a number.
Everyone in the world.
Get to the back of the line.
I just don't think I was born to work. I was born to be rich. I was born to have any life I want and not have to work at all for it. Fortunately, we don't get fucking handouts in this world.
I'm not very good at paying bills. I'm very much in debt right now.
How are you in
I
debt? You have
just
credit cards, you
moved
fucking
into a
idiot?
bigger place, and
Hey guys.
I know I'm not being very
it was
PG.
pretty much assumed that Mark would just move in with us.
I think they love me more than life itself. I don't know if it works for them, but it works for me. Ooh, groceries. What'd you buy me?
Next, we're gonna find out he plays World of Warcraft.
Fed, that he has gas in his car. He uses my electricity, my water, my cable, my phone service for that matter. The phone bill was $196 this month.
And that's my fault.
It's difficult to take care of a 23-year-old kid. You know, we love Mark, but we can't afford to keep him.
I don't think Mark's ever held a regular job for more than 2 months.
It's very hard for me to find a job that I enjoy. I get bored very, very quickly.
It's not about enjoying it, you idiot.
That'd be fun.
The one time Mark tried living on his own, he got evicted. He couldn't pay the rent.
If I have $10 in my pocket, I'll go out and spend it.
I don't get it.
Instead of looking for a job,
Don't get how they let it get to
watch
that point,
TV,
right?
I love to watch TV all the time.
Play video games.
I love to watch TV all
Whoa,
the time.
Oh my god, this is so old.
He'll sleep all day. I asked Mark to help out around the house, and it doesn't get done. Mark's slacking is getting really old.
I think it's definitely time for Mark to take some responsibility.
When Clay marries Jamie, he's gonna marry both of us. He knows that Jamie and I are a pair.
I can't kick Mark out because I love him. I don't want him to live on the street.
I really don't.
I
have
would
any
let him
intention
out
of
on the street.
leaving.
I'm convinced that even after I get married, it's going
He'll
to
find
be
his
this
way.
It's never going to change. Dr. Phil, how do I help my brother to grow up and take responsibility for himself?
Kick him the fuck out.
Well,
Yes.
That's how.
This is what I think about that kid's entire function.
Yeah.
You agree?
first off, I'm going to get to you in a minute. You're not busy, are you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. First off, why is this your job?
Because it kind of turned into my job, and nobody else really wanted to help him. He kind of burned all his bridges.
Okay, and then you got him in, and now you can't get him out?
Yeah.
But you don't really want to get him out, do you?
No, not
So why
not
are you
totally.
here?
Well, I want him to grow up so he can take care of himself, so I don't have to make sure he's fed and has gas and everything else. I wouldn't mind him as a roommate, just not as my son, who's not.
Well, you're getting ready to get married.
Yes.
This is your fiance, right?
Yes.
Do you want to marry both of them?
You know, I love them both, but she's the one that I really want to, you know, share a bedroom with.
Yeah? What do you think about all this?
I don't want to share a bedroom with him either, so we're okay.
What do you think about living there and they're taking care of you? You're how old?
23.
23.
I enjoy it. I have fun with them. I mean, the whole taking care of me part, I'm a little slack in that, but...
Well, let's
It's
just
my
go
younger
over
brother,
some
Kenny.
of that. Would you agree you've been freeloading for 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
You haven't had a steady job. In fact,
Oh,
you've had
yeah.
37 jobs since you were 16.
Wow.
I'm not very good at keeping those.
What are you, saving yourself for management or something?
Hey, I've been in management positions, but...
You never offer to pay for anything. You're supposed to pay 1/7 of the rent, and you've only done that once.
Yeah.
You said, if I have money, I just have to spend it. I mean, this just goes on. You wake up at 5:30 in the morning to watch Buffy the Vampire
My
Slayer,
man.
I set my alarm.
and then you go back to sleep and sleep
Sign
until
me
the
up for
middle of
this
the
lifestyle.
Until I have to go to class.
afternoon. Class. And then you play video games.
Yeah, usually until I go to bed.
Does that pay pretty good?
Not really.
So, what's your plan? What's your long-term plan here? You just going to live with sis the rest of your life?
probably.
Every boomer to every millennial ever. So what's your plan? What are you gonna do? Still live with your sister for the rest of your life? Oh, sorry. Let me just crawl out of the crippling debt that you guys have established for us, and we'll see what happens. I will give him some ups on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, though. That show was pretty lit back in the day.
Yeah.
Who was that? Melissa Joan Hart?
He didn't.
Fart?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, that's who.
Yeah, that one. He didn't do too bad on that hair either. Hair was on fleek.
Super on fleek. I just don't even understand the psychology of those people, dude. Like I just feel like that's not real. I feel like it's not real because I've never actually met somebody that is like that. That just lacks all sense of self-awareness to the point where they will go out and spend the last $10 that they have. Let's just real quick take a little diversion in the road that we're on here. And I just want to talk about real quick the whole Amazon and Jeff Bezos things, because that really struck a nerve with me, clearly, because of my post yesterday. But for anybody who doesn't really know, obviously we have the coronavirus going around right now. Lots of troubling times for absolutely everybody in the world, not just Americans. With that, I think that a lot of people are kind of looking to the world's leaders for some guidance, assistance, perhaps. And with that, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, there's been a lot of articles that came out today, specifically the one that I'm going to reference is from CNET. And it basically talks about how Amazon is not soliciting donations. And some people are like, well, what the heck are you talking about soliciting donations? And so basically what happened was a few days ago, Amazon came out and said that they were going through a hard time because of everything going on with the virus. And it's tough to pay all of the employees and the contractors that they have. And so in order to keep things moving along, they decided that they were going to open up a $25 million stimulus fund. But the part that's not the part that irked me. The part that irked me was they justified this $25 million fund coming out instead of just paying the contractors and paying the employees like they normally do. They issue a $25 million fund, which I would assume has to be for the purposes of evading taxes yet again, Mr. Bezos. And then on top of that, originally when they came out and said, this is what we're going to do, they basically published an article that says they were seeking donations. And so I had posted, on my Facebook, basically like, where the fuck does Bezos get off? Because he's got 114 billion net worth, and they made, I think it was 11 billion tax-free last year, or 2018 is what they made. So I'm over here like, okay, are you really going to go out and ask you and I, the consumers, people that just buy stuff from Amazon, and say, hey, I need some help right now. I know that you're all dying and you're all struggling, and most of you can't even find a 2-pack of fucking toilet paper.
And can't afford fucking the health insurance coverage for Corona.
Yeah, just throwing this out here. If you've got an extra nickel, go ahead and throw it my way so I can pay my employees, because the 11 bill that I banked last year is just not going to be enough. I'll go ahead and start it off and put the first 250 in there, but anything else that we get, that would be great.
And what did he put? 250,000?
250 mil, which is, it's a sizable fund for sure, but it's just the audacity that they came out and published.
I thought it was 25 mil, you said.
Yeah, it was $25 million.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
Okay, you said 250 mil.
I'm pretty sure that's. Oh no, that's not what I meant.
Okay,
yeah,
no problem.
Okay, so
I just want to know that I'm on the right page.
Anyway, it's 25 million. That's the number. And so I posted basically a post saying that I thought it was complete bullshit that somebody with that amount of power, influence, and money is out here asking for handouts when somebody like Mark Cuban, who has, I wouldn't say the same because Bezos is the richest man in the world, but Cuban has comparable entities, if you will, that he's in charge of, and you don't see him going and fucking posting, oh, I need this, I need you guys to donate so that I can keep the Dallas Mavericks. Like, that's not what he's doing, you know what I mean? If anything, he's kind of taking the stance like me and saying, you guys are fucking idiots, you know? But somebody rebutted to my Facebook post and basically said, oh, well, did you even read the article? Because it's contrary to what you're basically saying. And so I went to read the article that I had shared that I was ranting about, and sure as shit, it was different than what I had originally read. And so after doing some more research, I came to find somebody posted on Snopes that they actually originally did post asking for donations, and they must have went in after the fact, after people started backlashing them, and they changed it to make it look like they didn't do that originally. And so this is originally what it said. Well, now it says, we are not and have not asked for donations, and the Amazon Relief Fund has been funded by Amazon with the initial donation of $25 million. The structure to operate a fund like this, which hundreds of companies do through the same third party, requires the program to be open to public contributions, but we are not soliciting those contributions in any way. Why do you need a $25 million fund for this when you can literally just pay them as you always have, unless you're trying to avoid paying more taxes, which is exactly got to be what it is. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a friggin' accountant, but so that's what came out. This is originally what was said on their actual website. The Amazon Relief Fund was created to help individuals who are facing financial hardship immediately after a natural disaster or an unforeseen personal hardship. The fund relies primarily on individual donations from individuals and support from Amazon.com Services LLC to fund this program. Every contribution helps, and when combined with the donations of others, can provide a tax-free grant to help a fellow individual in need when they are facing the unexpected. And so what they mean by that is, in the event that a contracted driver, somebody who's driving packages for Amazon, gets into some trouble with the coronavirus, instead of just being paid as they normally are, now they'll go into this tax-free grant and get their tax-free money or whatever the case may be. But that's what it said. It said that it relies on the fucking donations from individuals. And now it says the Amazon Relief Fund was created with a $25 million donation from Amazon to help individuals who are facing financial hardship immediately after a natural disaster or an unforeseen personal hardship. The fund relies on support from Amazon for this program and is not asking anyone contribute directly to this fund. And is not asking anyone contribute that. Okay, so that's wrong. Like, grammatically, it's wrong. Based on the structure of this program, individuals can contribute if they desire. So even the fact that you have the if you want to at the end still shows that you're kind of a cocksucker. It's like, at the end of the day, you didn't need to make this fund. It was just a justification so that you could cover up the fact that you were trying to get even more money from all of these people in a time of crisis. And that's just where I stand on it. People can say, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion all they want. But when you come down to it...
But you're just being real about it, man.
I am just being real because you show your true colors when times like this come out. And you shouldn't need to act and have your audience respond and then you act again because you did a bad thing. You should just do the right thing from the start. And if you've got 11 billion from last year, Bezos, 25 million is not even a drop in your goddamn bucket. Like, you need to fucking, like, really prioritize here, because you have one of the biggest businesses that's ever been developed ever in the history of business. And right now is such a critical time for everybody and everything. And if you want to be number one and continue to be number one and have everybody's trust, like, maybe I'm just fucked up. Maybe I'm the
You gotta
stupid
lead.
one.
You have to lead with legitness.
Exactly, dude. Like, if I was in the position that some of these people were in, I just feel like it wouldn't even be the same fucking planet anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the amount of energy solutions, clean water solutions, just like so much shit that could be done in a positive manner and still make a profit, and it's just not done. And
the huge thing is, dude, the huge thing is there's a great chance that you would not make as much money as these people at first and for a while, because we all know that if you can find a way to do it, usually dishonesty is very profitable in terms of, instant gratification. Obviously, this is really sustainable with the fact that they're fucking not paying any taxes, and that's incredible. But if you were to get in there and really start doing things the right way, yes, it would incur costs and it would be more expensive to sustain a more honest lifestyle, but would pay off so much more in the end. I'm sure that they're losing out on a ton of opportunities because of the fact that they're driven with success, but also driven with, this kind of dishonest avoidance. I get the whole, nobody wants to quote unquote pay taxes thing. Nobody wants their money taken from them. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not pay anything last year in taxes?
Nothing.
How much would that be if their tax, what would their taxes be, like 40, 50%?
The problem of it is they have so many fucking write-offs and so many tax accountant loopholes that the general public isn't aware of or qualifies for. So it's like, we really don't know what's going on with that until we get an actual team of accountants in there and they agree to let us look at their actual records. And it's like, why the fuck would they even let us do that? You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, the thing that disappoints me the most is there's people in positions to make things very, very good for everybody. And there's only so much that you as a human can consume and use. There's only so much money that you personally need until it gets to the point where you make enough that you look like a fucking dick. Because, yeah, maybe it's easy for you to go out and just put another 50 products on your Amazon.com and all of a sudden you just added another how many $1 billion in revenue per year. It's not easy for the individual American to go out and just get a fucking job, dude. So it's like, why don't you take the billions and billions and billions of dollars that you have? And it's so easy for people to be like, oh, well, he's already doing stuff. He already has so much that he's responsible for. So it's like, how is it difficult for you to take $1 billion and to find somebody that's somewhat trustworthy and head the operation for you? Oh, we need clean water in Africa. Here's a quick Billy. Here you go, Billy, Boujee Billy, get to Africa and develop some fucking clean water for these people so that they can develop and they can become an actual place, dude. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Africa has like that stereotype to where there's nothing developed there, but that's very far from the truth. But you get what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just pisses me off because it's like, you don't need $114 billion. You're never going to need it in your lifetime. You're never going to know what the fuck to do with all that money. You're not using it for anything. You're just letting it stack up. So for the sake of stacking it up, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what their actual liquidity is of their actual business, but I wouldn't be surprised to see offshore bank accounts just fucking racking it up, dude. It's just like,
and it really is disappointing. It really is disappointing that there's so many people out there with so much money that they are just, functioning with greed and trying to collect and hold and keep as much as they possibly can. Like, $1 billion. $1 million across his lifetime, his immediate families, their kids, and we'll just say their kids. That entire web, that's what? Let's see. If you have a kid around 30, let's just throw out like 300 years, literally. $1 billion could probably sustain a happy, fulfilled life for 300 freaking years worth of a family, a generation. Like, a bloodline. This guy's got how much money? And not that we're, in a position to tell people how to spend their money, but how much money and how many things do we have going on that nobody gives a shit about?
There was no reason to come out with an article that solicited donations, and then there was no reason for you to back out like a coward because the media fucking got to it, and everybody on Facebook was like, and Twitter was definitely where you friggin' got it the most. And I'm glad you got it the most because it shows you how big of a scumbag you actually are, dude. It's there's right and there's wrong, and when you show people what you're really all about, like, we can smell it, dude. The people that know right from wrong can smell it a mile away. And I think the problem that I really have is, like, there are people that do stuff, but it's just not enough, dude. And it gets to the point where if you're making $11 billion a year, you can take $1 billion and multiply that tenfold. You can find somebody out there to take that $1 billion and make it $10 billion by the end of the year. I know that you can.
I know that there are so many people out there who completely agree, but these people are so powerful, and the business is so powerful that who the fuck is going to do anything? You know what I mean?
Well, if you think about it realistically, right? The richest people just continue to get richer because, and I'm not for socialism. I'm not for any of that crap where you can't make more money by working harder. Like, I think that you should be able to make a good living and a good life, and you should be able to have enough for yourself to invest if you work really, really hard. I do. I don't think that anybody should be able to tell you how much money you're worth, but it gets to a point when somebody's making $11 billion in tax-free money, and if they keep investing it correctly, he's going to be worth $1 trillion fucking dollars. And then what do you do when somebody literally owns $1 trillion, dude? And then they take that trillion, and what do they do with that? They make it 2. Then they make it 4. Then they make it 8. And then before you know it, one fucking guy on the planet has more money than everybody else. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not, like, I don't know, man. There's so much you could go into with that. And it doesn't piss me off thinking about it. What pisses me off is just the lack of responsibility. Because if I was in their shoes, I would be doing the things that need to be done in order to make the world a better fucking place. And as of right now, it just isn't being done. And it's so easy for people to say, oh, well, they're busy with building Amazon's already fucking built. All you need to worry about is getting your customer support so they actually know what the fuck they're doing, and getting good execs that actually know what the fuck they're doing. If Elon Musk can develop Tesla, electric cars, and then all of a sudden, a couple years later, go to SpaceX and be launching fucking rockets into the air, why is it so difficult for you to figure out a clean water filtration system for countries that might need it?
Personally, my personal take on everything going on with the fucking world, there's so much. And I'm sure I have no hand in it all, and I haven't had an opportunity to change anything or help anything, except for the little teeny effects, you know, with the ripple effect that I've had along the way that I do my best to change with, to help with. But I'm so exhausted with it all. This world needs so much fucking work. You know, I feel like if we had like a team of, I don't want to say elites, but I'm going to say it. If we had a team of elites, people who really meant well, people who had a good head on their shoulders, very level-headed, let's say a team of, I don't know, 12 people, all on a board that respected each other mutually, and nobody, so people were only a healthy level of greedy, you know what I mean? Like, because we like money, we want money, sure, we want to make money, but then when it came to improving the world around us and really bettering the structures that make up our world, or going around and helping clean up and clear up the problems that we have going on that are really negatively impacting people's lives and hindering the overall ability for them to just lead a smooth life, then I would say in like 5 to 10 years, you know, things would really, really change, you know, but it would be next to impossible to find that many people who, you know, you've seen, there's always fucking somebody. There's always somebody. There's someone always gets, you know, way too addicted to the money or this or that and screws everything up. I don't know.
It also needs to get back to a point of where are we going and what are we doing? Because I'm pretty sure we talked about this on a previous podcast where, like, what are we innovating for anymore? like we're developing robots and like rockets and stuff like that, but it's just like we're human beings. We like to go to movies, we like to go to barbecues, we like to hang out with friends. Like everything that we like to do that genuinely brings us joy has something to do. Exactly, it's got something to do with like a social gathering or family or friends or having a good time. Like it's got nothing to do with innovating robots that are going to take over our jobs. It's got nothing to do with, you know, coming out with some new big financial, like I think we all just want a sense of being fucking normal human beings again. And it's almost kind of like, you know, when iOS updates for the iPhone and like you didn't want it to happen, but it just fucking happened overnight and you had no control over it. And then you go into your phone and everything's all fucked up. Like they've completely fucked everything. I feel like that's what real life is. I feel like real life.
That's the point that we're at.
Yeah, we've woken up and we don't realize it, but it's like tonight we could go to sleep and there could be something released into the world that changes the way that we live our lives forever and not for the better. You know what I mean? And it's getting to the point where we can't avoid it more and more because our lives are becoming more and more relevant to screens and computers and smart devices that just have the ability to shove whatever it is in our face at all given times, because that's all we care about anymore. You know what I mean? I want to go back to the days where I feel like I'm comfortable enough to have my kids go out and trick or treat and I don't have to fucking look in the candy bag to see if there's some friggin' razor blades in it. I want to get back to the days,
and they won't get snatched up by somebody,
where you have a block party with your neighbor or a couple of neighbors and everybody's getting together over at Sally's house for a pool party because her kid's turning 4, you know, or like, I feel maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a fucking isolated piece of shit. But being somebody that grew up in a time that had that stuff and now looking at it, it's just two different worlds. And I don't really prefer the one we're in now. Sucks.
Yeah, it's a depressing conversation. It really is, because there's nothing that we can do about it except, you know, maintain the structures within our social circles. You know what I mean? Like inviting people over and hosting these events and stuff and still having a good time. And it's really all we have. That's all we can do. So, you know, if I take a step back and I think about the large scheme of things and on a large scale, it is really upsetting. It's really depressing. And it's weird too, because I'm sure you and me, we could easily put ourselves in a situation where we remember a gathering like the ones we're talking about, and it was awesome, you know, and everyone was, you know, calm, comfortable. It was just a down-to-earth, easygoing, relaxing situation, and there was really nothing wrong. And now, especially with the way that things have gone, it's crazy, because you go from these really comfortable social settings with people that are all comfortable with each other, that have taken a lot of time to get to know each other and spend time with each other, and you go from that to, you know, let's just say something as simple as going out for a motorcycle ride with someone, you know, someone who's more tuned to the ways of today, cares more about what people think of them, and they got more of an ego, and they're really proud of their bike, like way too proud. And there's so much. It's difficult to form a group of people where you can all be comfortable and healthy and have a decent gathering. But if you get to the point where you have that, you know, you're very lucky. I have a pretty good group of friends. You know, they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I still get to go to events. And, you know, we have something going on every holiday, you know, like St. Patty's get-togethers, and Thanksgiving we have a Friendsgiving and a Friendsmas and the whole 9 yards. And it's awesome. But it's one of those things that I really hope that my kids in the future get to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little worried that they won't, because it's big. It's a big deal. It really does. It's like one of the last things connected to old school fucking socialization. You know what I mean?
You remember how big of a deal it used to be for you and family to get together on those holidays, like Christmas and Easter. And now, I don't want to say it's, I feel like it's different now, at least for me, because I really don't go to a lot, or if any at all, family gatherings anymore for holiday events. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I live completely isolated away from them. So now it's like I have to not depend on other people, but I'm looking to spend that time with people that are around me and willing to make the effort to come and see me, as opposed to vice versa, because that was always the way that it was. I was always the one kind of coming to the events, not really anybody coming to mine. But now it's just...
that I totally understand. That's like an A leads to B thing in itself. You know what I mean? So when you stopped going to a lot of these events, how many people went out of the way to make sure that they saw you in the holidays?
Well, none. And I don't hold it against anybody, but definitely don't hold it against me if I can't make it out there. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Or even if you had an exhausting week.
Yeah, or even if I just don't fucking feel like it. I don't think that you should be offended by it. Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure, but it's also convenient for me. It's not for you anymore. I make sure that I see my family on every, mainly like shit like Christmas and New Year's.
The big ones, yeah.
Big ones. I have this big thing where when I was maybe 13 years old, I promised myself that I would, when I grew older, I would not become the kind of person that regretted not spending enough time with his parents before they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that one day I'm going to blink and I'm going to open my eyes one day and they're not going to be here. You know what I mean? I'm going to be, whatever, 15 years older. I'm almost 30 years old. This past 30 years, absolutely fucking flew. Literally, so it was pretty much as long as this. I'm gonna do this until you laugh, boy. You can't hold that face forever. Oh my god. Oh, it's so detailed. Boom! Gotcha. Oh!
It's your commentary. It's not the noise itself.
I don't care. You still broke it. But yeah, it absolutely flew, and you know, it's really sad because the older I get, and the more preoccupied, the more I feel that regret. Oh, you're still going?
Yeah.
Mine's not. What the? Yeah, like because I find myself, you know, fulfilling my responsibilities, and then in my spare time, I have just enough energy to sit in a damn chair. You know what I mean?
Well, also a lot of it for me too was, it's not all of them, but there's certain family that I could not really relax or have a good time around. And I was like, you know what? This is a special day. This is one of the very few days out of the year where I'm supposed to be able to relax and enjoy myself. Why do I want to go out of my way to travel somewhere to be around somebody that I don't necessarily even really care for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not because that's the way that I wanted it. It's just the way that they are as people. Sometimes you're just born into a family to where you don't get along with certain people in the family.
Yeah, and you get a, you know, when you're younger, you're expected to just be part of the system because you don't really have an opinion of yourself. You're not really a character of your own yet. And then you get a little older, and your mind opens up, and you kind of see things for what you perceive them as in your own opinion and perspective. And I mean, in that situation, why the hell would anyone drive all that way just to be uncomfortable? There's no, it's putting work in for something that doesn't pay out. Why would we? And we don't want to do that now that we're older and we actually care. When you're younger, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But you get a little older and you really see the value of putting your time into something.
Right.
And if it's not something that you're going to be comfortable with, what and why? And you probably, you know, I can relate to you in that way. There's a lot of things that I don't like my time being wasted. I have a huge thing for my time being wasted. In fact, if someone deliberately wastes my time, it's a trigger for me. An angry trigger. I get fucking pissed. Sure, I maintain control of myself, but I get really, really pissed. So that ties right into the belief in me that I don't want to invest my time into something that I don't see to be worth it.
Yeah.
And you obviously, you know, share something similar to that. It's not worth going out of your way to sit next to someone that's going to make you uncomfortable, make you want to go home. Why are you going to go somewhere if you're just going to want to go right back home?
Right. Or like you get there, you ever go to like a family member's house when you're younger and you're like, oh, I fucking hate this holiday because I got to go to so-and-so's house and so-and-so's house is boring as shit. Or like...
You find an excuse.
Yeah. Well, not that you find an excuse, but you just don't want to go because it's not fun.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely been there. For sure. Kate's behind me, so I'm getting a lot of like hilarious like silent commentary on the phone as she's like reflecting her thoughts on stuff, but only in like a few words at a time.
Big purple dildos.
Got me in. Where do I go? Where do I sign?
Floppypurpledildo.com. Oh. Floppypurpledildo.com. Damn, that's a hell of a URL. Floppypurpledildo.com.
Floppy purple dildo. Floppy purple dildo.
You gotta get the .com at the very end though.
Floppypurpledildo.com. 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 Floppypurpledildo.com.
Today's episode of the Incredibly Dope podcast is brought to you by floppypurpledildo.com. That was fucking mint, dude.
That was.
Today's episode of the Incredibly Dope podcast is brought to you by the floppypurpledildo.com. Now available in a Dragon Special Edition.
There's like a remote control and it's just like wah, 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 wah.
Did you love Barney growing up? Do I have the thing for you?
You're gonna love this.
Oh, hi, boys and girls.
Whoa! What's that in my ass? Oh, it's just a big floppy purple dildo, Barney. Whoa!
What's the most traumatic thing you've ever experienced? One time, I was having anal with this girl and I pulled out and all I hear is...
This is gonna be the nastiest one yet.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Brought to you by...
Today's podcast is sponsored by Angelsoft.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Wet Ones and Charmin.
I just want to... Oh, I want to play this while Kate's sleeping one night and see if she wakes up. I just want to play it on the
that
TV
would have been a
in the room.
great thing to play for my neighbors when they were pissing me off. If I just left 10 hours of fucking relaxing
You gotta
diarrhea.
actually go somewhere, though. You gotta lock your doors and everything. Plastic go somewhere.
Dude, I'd love to set this up, like, right, like, by my front door and wait for neighbors to walk by and just play it super loud as they walk by.
You gotta get one of those nests, the one where you can talk to people outside.
Yeah.
And automate it. I don't know, it just feels like therapy.
Dude, we gotta get some clips of us going into like a public urinal and just sitting down and just playing that through the phone, dude, and just like recording the person's reaction. Oh man, you good, big fella?
Hey, yo, you alright? Yo, you need help?
I need toilet paper.
Do you have a mop and a towel?
What would be really funny is if you actually brought like little marbles or something. Maybe not marbles, but like you need something with some weight to it, and you actually like drop them in the toilet so that you get the realistic like bloop effect. Just
or
like
no, you just blast it through your phone, put your phone right between your legs, so it.
You got that bowl effect. Yeah.
It was seriously sound realistic.
Yeah, just make sure you don't fucking drop it in the toilet.
Good as new.
Dude, that's got to be traumatizing, dropping your phone in the toilet after a fucking steamy shit was laid in there.
I think I would just leave it and walk away.
Could you imagine? That's probably, didn't we say that's how
I would try to flush and plunge it. No, it was, I just walked in.
You need one of those phone soap things. Have you seen those? They're these little devices that basically, it's, I don't want to say it's like a coffin, but it's like this little case, and you open it up and you put your phone inside, and there's a UV light in there, and you close it, and it's the UV light is supposed to kill all of the germs and stuff all over the phone, and you leave it in there for a period of time.
Yeah, I probably need to find the longest period of time that you do that with and then double it.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to do it like once a day or something like that, because your phone's supposed to be one of the dirtiest things that you carry on you, you know? Which is like, if you really do think about it, dude, like, how many sketchy, nasty things are you doing a day that you're just like picking your phone up doing while you're doing that? And then like when you really think about it, it's like, oh, I just went out and, you know, I just took a fat shit and I was texting on the phone, and then afterwards when I got off the toilet, like, I don't know, I don't handle my phone like after I fucking wiped my ass or anything, because it's usually like in my pocket at that point already. But you know, like if somebody just like, I don't know, there's so many things that phone could have on.
I wipe with my phone.
I wipe.
I go down the one cheek like that, and then I go down the center like this.
And then you take a pick in the middle, right?
And I have a little handheld vacuum and a little teeny bidet. It's actually a squirt bottle, but I call it my bidet. You know, our phones would be way cleaner if we just started wearing colostomy bags.
Imagine if they came out with like little phone condoms.
That'd be great.
Just disposable phone.
You can change them every single time you use your phone.
Yeah.
Or you could use it like a real condom and you just flip it inside out and shake the shit out of it and then put it back on.
Yeah. Waving it around.
Oh, all right, so how long was that?
We're at about an hour and 45 minutes.
Jesus, that long. I feel like we didn't talk about anything. It was weird. We covered Jeff Bezos. That was the takeaway for that one.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to the point where, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
We need to develop a system of getting constant streams of topics is pretty much our last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, you know, when we get to the point where we can figure out how to live stream this shit, then we could get people in here who can feed us what they want to see.
That too, which I don't really understand as to why.
We'll have to figure it out. We'll do some digging. But all right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Don't forget the ching chong potato.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that at the end. We went in with Cardi and we're going out with Cardi. All right, well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us yet again for another wonderful episode of the Incredibly Dope Podcast. Join us next time when I don't know what the hell we're going to be talking about, but we'll be talking about it. So make sure you tune in. And until then...